Check 1, 2.
Well, hello there, boyfriend. How are you this fine day?
I'm really good.
Is it working?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's not touch shit.
I'm afraid to ask, but I have a great question.
I don't even know what I was going to say. I'm so disturbed right now.
This woman's boyfriend got a hernia while masturbating. They would like to come into the doctor's office and lie, but they're wondering, is that gonna hurt?
Yeah, let's do that.
Diagnosis. But what's diagnosis? Prognosis. Prognosis is what you have. Diagnosis.
Diagnosis is what you are told is your disease or the pathology or your medical condition. Prognosis is, do we anticipate a good or bad outcome?
Oh, I love it. Okay. So you can choose which one you'd like to answer first.
Let's do the lying one.
All right. People lying to doctors.
Man, they do it all the time.
Okay. Worst lie ever. Or do you go ahead with however you'd like to approach it?
Oh, you want me to start?
You told me once that oftentimes, we talked about it on here, that you run late. The reason doctors run late sometimes is because people are lying about an embarrassing thing and they go like, oh, I just want to see if I have the flu.
All the time.
You go in, all of a sudden it's like, I got a rash. Please look at my testicles.
Yes, and that is so detrimental to me being on task and on time, because I will look at what you're coming in for way before, and I will give you a 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute slot based on your complaint. So if you say inhaler refill, okay, no complaints, just needs blood pressure check, cool.
Right.
And then you come in and you're like, well, when I pee, it's purple.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh,
that's not
because
good.
I've also looked up the chart and I've looked at like if you had a lung x-ray, like a chest x-ray of your lungs, right? Or have you had pulmonary function tests or all this stuff to treat you for your inhaler or whatever. And then I've wasted all this time and then you come in and you're like, I need to talk about my purple pee. I'm like, what the hell? And then I have to go look at all those tests.
By the way, for anyone that missed it, we did cover in a previous episode what color your pee should be. I believe the answer is,
do you remember?
It should be the color of a highlighter.
No.
No?
Nice retention skills.
Apple juice.
Apple juice.
Thank you very much.
Second try. Good job.
You got these vitamins for us that are like special doctor vitamins.
Oh man, isn't it funny?
It's
like
I can pee in the dark.
Ecto Cooler green, yellow, neon.
I peed at 2 a.m. It woke me up. It was so bright.
I feel like you're radioactive.
It's amazing. What do you think about specifically this person as far as this exact injury? Is
do you
this
have
common?
The actual question? Can you read it?
Oh my gosh, I wish I had it. I'm going to be honest. Oh, I know where I put it. I don't.
Well, while you're searching for it, you asked me the worst lie that I ever had was. Oh, you found it already.
Finish your thought, please.
Oh, I mean, I've had a ton of similar things that you were saying where it becomes like a genital concern or erectile dysfunction when they said that they had hypertension. The worst one that I ever had, though, was when someone came in and she described an entire car accident that she was involved in. She said she got T-boned and described where the other vehicle hit her and where she was wearing the seatbelt, how it hurt her clavicle, and how fast she was going, how fast the other car was going. And there was another medical student in with me doing the whole intake. We stepped out, presented to our attending, kind of like you see on doctor shows, told the whole story. I described the whole car accident. The airbag didn't deploy. She was able to get out. She didn't have any head trauma. La-di-da. This is why she's having shoulder pain. Excellent presentation. A fucking A+. We walk in the room and he goes, oh, okay, so nice to see you. I'm so sorry to hear about your car accident. She goes, I never got in a car accident. What are you talking about?
Okay.
The doctor goes, what? And she goes, she's a liar. I had never gotten in a car accident.
Who told the lie?
The patient. To my doctor boss.
But wait, this woman says, I never got in a car accident?
Right after she described her car accident.
So she lied and then said, I lied.
Yes. Wow. And then he pulled me out of the room and chewed me out and started yelling at me and said, if you didn't get a good history, you can't make up stuff. You're never going to like amount to anything horrible. And I look at the other medical student and I'm like, could you vouch for me? And he just put his little bitch head down. Damn. And our attending walks out. Attending is the name for your superior when you're in training. So this guy, he'd been a doctor for
I feel bad for nodding like I knew. Thank you for explaining.
He walks out of the room and I look at the med student and I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, sorry, I was really afraid that he'd yell at me too. And I was livid.
Why did she lie?
I have no idea. She clearly had head trauma from the car accident.
Made up a crazy story just for...
I don't know.
What was actually wrong? Just shoulder problems?
Yeah. Same area, shoulder, collarbone area, but like...
That's so weird. I think in that case...
But she got me in a lot of trouble. Like that was a graded exam, like presentation, and I got in a lot of trouble for that, and I had to really make up for it. I don't know why they would do that.
I don't think it's your fault.
Of course it's not my fault.
What about these people who are planning on intentionally? This is from Sue in Scottsdale, Arizona. My boyfriend got a hernia masturbating, I was in the room. Is it important that we tell the doctor when we go to seek medical advice?
I would like to know what her response was when he got a hernia while she was watching.
Yeah, do you think that was like you know how masturbating can mean I'm alone in the room, I'm doing it? It also could mean I'm grabbing it and you're watching. And then
Do you like watching me? I think that's an interesting thing. Sorry, I know I'm digressing here. Well, I always thought it was interesting. Like, if I could touch you or if I could touch myself, I would much rather touch you.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So, like, that's a form of sexual arousal. There are couples who really, really seek sexual pleasure and a variance of like, ooh, let's change it up by watching their partners masturbate.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, though.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. If you're in the room with me, I want you to touch me and I want to touch you.
I agree. The only time
I just find that interesting.
I prefer you touching yourself is if there's a time constraint. I waited till you took a drink. Is if we're in a hurry, because you're better at it than I am. But fun to watch, not going to lie.
Okay.
So we got things to do. Would you mind?
Well,
Could
first
you get things started? Show me where it is. Could you point out the erogenous zone, please? Could you point me in the right direction? Yeah, I like it.
I think I'm going to go back to changing my answer now. And whenever we're together, I'd prefer to only touch myself. But I don't even want you in the room. You can go in a different room.
This, by the way.
It's a great question.
It is. And do you know, as a man, I've absolutely almost injured myself. Because there's like a chest muscle.
What?
Yeah. I have so many questions following up on this. People should masturbate with both hands. Do you end up getting a big
bicep?
One big arm? Sometimes when I was younger, I'd masturbate with my left hand and imagine like it was a girl that was just doing it for the first time.
Isn't that called a stranger? Didn't we discuss?
Oh, that's when you sit on it.
Sit on it
and it doesn't
Have you done
this
that?
one time
Have you done that?
No.
You've done it. You've done it.
I called Erika once and I said, hey, I'm working on this joke about this stranger. And I said, she's like, what's that? I go, it's like an old thing where you sit on your arm, it falls asleep, and then you masturbate and it feels like someone else is doing it. And you said to me with like a straight face, you were like, oh my God, you were like, I would love to do that just to feel like your arm was around me as I went to sleep. I would just like to throw my arm around me, my sleep arm. I thought that was really cute. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, I'm glad I'm really keeping you awake.
So you have done it?
No, I've never done a sit on my arm. That's insane. That wouldn't really work.
Why not?
I've tried the left hand. Takes too long. But you're using your chest muscles, and so they're.
You're using your. How hard are you pulling?
I don't want to talk about this anymore. This question.
I do.
All I'm saying is it's not a surprise that this man. What's a hernia? Like what? I've heard of a herniated disc. Is the hernia always in the same spot? Is it a groin thing?
It's an excellent question.
Our friend has a hernia. Let's not say his name.
We have, so in your inguinal canal, in your groin, you can have two different types of hernias, direct and indirect, basically in relation to other structures in your groin. All you need to know is it can happen there. That's the one where the doctor typically will go through the testicle, put their finger up and say, turn your head and cough.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hernia exam that most people are familiar with. But you can also have...
You did that to me the other day, remember?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't have one.
But isn't it nice to like know what to expect? Like you can get exams now for me and not be uncomfortable. Or maybe
remember I go, could you take a look at my testicles?
There's a periumbilical hernia, so around the belly button. Ventral wall hernia, so anywhere in the abdomen, kind of, but on the front side. Oh gosh, there's a lot of different ones. There's a diaphragmatic hernia.
Okay.
Hiatal hernia. That one's very common, associated with heartburn a lot of times, kind of like right here, and it can slide up and down and make acid reflux a lot worse.
Are you worried then?
So there's a lot of different types.
Is the type of hernia important in knowing how to treat it? And is if they come in and tell you, oh, he was gardening, now have they led you astray and you might not be able to doctor house this thing?
So those are two very specific medical questions. The type of hernia, you of course have to know what it is before you can treat anything in medicine.
What about how he got it? Would that affect your ability to figure out what it was?
For a hernia, not so much. Well, you're going to do it. You're going to use the patient's history. Then you're going to do a physical examination.
Oh, his history of hernias?
Well, the whole story, but not just how he got it, but also what's the presentation? What are your symptoms?
Gotcha.
complaint onset, mitigating factors, what makes it better, what makes it worse, have you ever had it before, do you have any associated symptoms, where is it, pain scale, what have you tried, all that. So then I'll do the physical exam. Oh, it hurts right here, and I'll push, and typically I'll have them like turn your head and cough, causes the muscles to kind of contract, and basically what you're feeling is intestinal extrusion. So the intestines are bulging out, right? The muscles have parted somehow. There was a tear, there was a shift, and then you can feel the bulge of the intestines. Typical hernias, like if it's in the belly, you can even see them around a belly button. You'll see a big lump.
Yeah.
And then you have to look at, are they strangulated? Are they regular? So are they twisted?
Right.
Have they lost blood supply?
Yeah, I think he heard it strangulating his penis.
Yeah, well, then he heard his... Never mind.
So you're saying...
So it doesn't really take into account that he lied on that one.
Doesn't matter
they're
as
fine.
much.
They're fine. But there are other things you definitely need to be truthful about because the nidus for the injury can sometimes be benign, and then you worry, why did the person get it? So for example...
Yeah.
There's something called osteogenesis imperfecta that's usually seen in children where it's brittle bone disease. So if a kid is playing on a playground and falls off the monkey bars, unfortunately, and breaks their arm, they broke their arm.
Right.
If a child is walking and bumps into the side of a soft bed and breaks their femur to break a long bone, if that's the story that you get, there are two things you have to take into account. One, could they have an underlying pathological genetic predisposition such as osteogenesis imperfecta or something else that would make them break bones really easily? Because now you have to do a bunch of genetic tests and make sure they won't break other bones. Or is there child abuse at play and the parents were lying? So you have to take into account this history.
Yeah.
But
So
for the
hernia, not so much.
It's just unfortunate that he was having a really good time that turned into a really bad time.
Oh, yeah. You don't think he finished, right? I don't.
Oh, I was thinking that's how he got it. Oh, yeah. Boom.
Wow. Is that what you think happened?
Well, that's not how I sound.
Remember what
He looks at
happened?
me like,
Remember what happened this weekend?
goodness sakes.
So
I remember.
I did some shows in Vegas, and we would get back really late. It was tough. So we had to eat really late, and it was hard to find places to eat. So we bought this food, and we were sitting on the bed eating, and we were watching. We thought we were watching a commercial.
Well, no.
Yeah.
We were watching like House Hunters or something at like 1:30 in the morning when it started.
We found a House Hunters. I didn't know it existed with people that don't have as much money as me. Every time I've ever watched House Hunters, I go, I hate all of you.
Oh,
These
that's
were
the
like, oh, this
opposite.
house is 120. I was like, yeah, bring it on. Bring on the shitholes.
Oh, I don't like that. The shithole.
I like
the opposite where I'm like, your budget's only $7 million.
Oh, you
you
do?
cheap bastards.
No, I feel very successful.
I want $10 million. I want to see the big house.
I like to feel better than the people. Sometimes when I rent cars, I rent a shitty one to just feel better when I get home. Truth. So we're watching. Remember we watched this commercial comes on for a shark vacuum?
We actually weren't watching anything when what you're trying to say started. And then I was scrambling for the TV remote.
Oh, that's what made you turn it
mute
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in Vegas, and these people were just...
Going at it at 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. You know what's a fun game to play when you hear a noise in Vegas in the room next door? A fun game to play is sex or murder.
It sounded definitely not like sex.
Right? There was a moment where I was like, is someone in trouble or is it sex? But then it for sure was sex, right?
You know what was funny about that? Is I was so grossed out.
It was
I was
terrible.
like, oh, we're eating salad. And I look over at you and you're like,
Yeah.
unfazed. That's when I was like scrambling for the remote, put on freaking House Hunters. And then it ended.
Yeah, I screamed, get it, at one point. Get it. Do you know why?
You were really into that fork.
But when I heard this guy, I asked you this in the hallway.
What?
I said, you really got upset about those people having sex. Like, you really hated
It was
that.
really gross and off-putting to me.
Isn't it weird how with ourselves, though, we're like, deal with it. But with other people, I had a little bit of, we were tired. There was not going to be any sex happening with us. Just whatever I was doing to that Caesar salad, if you could consider that a consensual relationship. I think there's a little bit of me that was like,
Were you turned on?
No. I just wished I was. I wished I was.
Paused for a second.
I wished I was doing it. Not at all. Just to be clear, you could tell they were ugly by the noises.
So that was
Honest
the
to
other thing
God.
that you did that messed with my head.
Oh, I know what they looked like.
You said, would it help you or hurt you to know what they looked like if I described them to you? And I was like, oh, no.
I'm going to do it now.
And that's when we watched like a 20-minute infomercial on vacuums because I needed something loud to block the murder scene.
Well, truthfully, we thought we were watching a commercial and we were waiting for a show to start for 45 minutes.
It was yes.
So
I'd take that over hearing random people have sex, though.
I thought it was an unnatural noise that he made. That's what made me like. He was like,
gross, Jamie. I already no.
That's really weird.
Please stop. That was like yesterday.
It really was
still
like
in my head.
He was like, gang.
Stop.
It was so weird.
Ew.
I don't know how.
Fine.
He probably makes those noises so he doesn't have to make the woman orgasm after because she's so turned off. I'm like, oh God. But it's Vegas.
You know what you said to me though? You're like, I'm not really phased because I'm in hotels all the time, so I hear it all the time. I don't hear people have sex all the time when I'm in a hotel. Very rarely.
Yeah.
I cannot think of the last time I've heard someone have sex.
I did the last time you and I were in a hotel having sex.
I was asleep. Didn't hear it.
I do hear it. Not a ton of hotel sex going on, by the way. In
With
Vegas,
us?
more than well, we're tired. But I think in Vegas, way more than other places. When I'm in New York City, I can't even remember the last time I heard somebody going at it. I think it's a lot of.
Okay, maybe I'm being rude as well, but we were in a very nice hotel in a very nice suite to where I did not think a bunch of drunk people would be stumbling around at 2 a.m. having really angry, loud sex. I mean, loud. It wasn't even. I would assume they were.
He could have been that drunk because I remember hearing a ha-ga-ga-ga, which I feel like mean it ended. So he couldn't have had that much to drink. Finished the job. He finished it. He did it. I high-fived the wall. Remember that? I go, yeah. I hit the wall. Get it. Then I heard him. I heard a noise that could only be the sound of someone peeling money off of a wad of cash. Oh my God! It could have been a prostitute. Prostitution's legal in Las Vegas.
It is legal?
Mm-hmm.
It for sure is?
Nevada.
It is?
Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that? Nevada.
I don't know if Las Vegas
you won't
on
get
the
prosecuted?
Strip, I don't know if on the strip of Las Vegas that there's a that it's a
It is?
Yeah.
Is it the only state that it's legal in?
I don't know. Let me check it out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was illegal everywhere.
Ranches. You thought it was illegal everywhere?
Illegal everywhere.
Oh, prostitution, legal states. Definitely. I have a story to tell you.
Oh, wow. This is a great lead up.
Nevada is the only U.S. state where they allow legal prostitution.
Gross.
So.
Gross.
It's mostly outside the strip, though. You can. U.S. So there's obviously.
Yeah.
Places. The terms. Oh, it's been decriminalized in Maine.
Wow.
So they give you a slap on the wrist.
That's a
Maine.
great thing. You not waste any time getting that lobster roll right after. Why would Maine do it?
Oh no, I don't even know if this is a good story.
Oh yeah, you have a story. You talked about prostitution being legal, and then you said I've got a good story.
I do. I was in Reno once, and I was drinking a little bit at the time. Took a little hiatus from sobriety, as they say, and I was playing a little video poker at a bar in Reno, Nevada. And I was playing it, and I was having fun. I'm a loner when it comes to gambling. I play poker. That's it. And so I'm sitting, and then this girl, who was pretty good looking, sits right down next to me at the thing, right? And she starts playing. And so I'm just Erika, I'm just a man. And I go, hello there. Or whatever a guy says. And she's being pretty friendly to me. And I'm getting...
Did you ever question why?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah. I mean, I immediately got... I see myself every morning in the mirror. I know.
That's not what I meant.
This would never happen anywhere, but it's for sure like some sort of... Like, I don't feel like some girl's going to randomly sit next to me at 3 a.m. in a casino. So I know what's going on, but I go, she seems nice. So I turn and I go, how are you doing? And she goes, good. How are you doing? I go, good. She goes, what are you doing here? And I go, I'm the comedian. I'm working at the comedy club in the casino. And I go, what are you doing here? Guess what she says? I am a prostitute.
Oh, she just volunteered it that nonchalantly?
Yeah. I am a prostitute. She kind of laughs like, oh, I'm a prostitute. And I go, oh, that's pretty cool. And she goes, I'm not working right now. I'm just
Yet.
playing the machines. She goes, I can't. I'm not even allowed to work in this hotel. I just am playing next to you to say hi. And I go, okay. I'm not. I go, I don't do that type of thing. Nice to meet you. Right. So I go, this is kind of fascinating. Back in my head, I'm wondering
How much she charges?
how much it's going to cost me. Well, I'm wondering, will something happen? Is it a freebie? Sometimes
Come on.
Sometimes I tell jokes to people that haven't bought tickets. So I talked to her for a little while, and I start going like, what's the craziest thing you've ever had happen as a prostitute?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, and she goes, you're not going to believe this one. She said a guy paid her $2,000. I'm not even going to, this is so gross, I'm not even going to finish it, but to bring pounds of hamburger meat to his hotel room, no sex, and do some stuff with the meat. That's all I'm going to say. She said he'd pay her thousands of dollars to do that.
She did it?
Yeah, and she did it.
She did stuff to the meat, or he did?
She did stuff. She did put the meat places.
Ew.
I shouldn't have. This happened. We don't know if she's telling the truth. So anyway.
I feel like that's a truthy.
I do too. I shouldn't have brought it up though. And so anyway, at the end of the story.
God, I'm just thinking of all the bacteria that would be growing.
I know.
Like, that's dangerous. All right. Anyway.
So
that's
dangerous.
Gross.
Yeah.
E. coli.
Yep. A lot of danger happening in that room that night. Prostitute. Right? Diseases. Raw meat. You're playing with fire. So I talked to her.
Sick man.
So I'm very naive. Because what happens is I feel like I made a friend and I don't feel like there's any pressure here to hire her as a prostitute. And she starts talking to guys, right? Hey, what's up? How much? Because she's clearly, it was as if her vagina had a for sale sign. Like, I mean, she was what she was wearing, right? Like she was a prostitute.
That's sad to me.
Yeah. But so guys were asking her, she seemed happy. But guys are asking her like how much and stuff, and she was negotiating with them. And she would tell people like, I'm just hanging out with him for the night. She would point at me, kind of turn him away. Like, oh, I made a friend. So we're downstairs at the in the casino, and she said something like, I think she had to use the bathroom or something. We walked to the front of the casino, and when we I went to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. When we walked out, she walked out, and she was surrounded by policemen and security, like 20 cops, 20 security, and they were like, you need to get out of here. You're soliciting in this hotel, whatever. And I walk out and I go, oh, that's just the girl I know or whatever. And they were like, back away or you're going to get arrested. And I was like, oh my God. So I just went to my room. I never saw her again. And then I found out the next day, that's like a thing. That's the thing prostitutes, they find someone to like hang out with so they can sort of like hang out there. If they're just alone going, can I have sex with you for money? They get busted immediately. But if they find a guy that they could pretend to be friends with, they can then sell their wares to strangers.
That's sad.
Yeah. Anyway, thought I'd tell a real sad story with no ending.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that.
We'll edit it out. But I thought that was a wild thing. I just was too naive to know that was a.
I'm curious if male prostitutes really exist.
Great question.
Like truly, if they exist, not like escorts and like male strippers and all of that, but like truly just a male prostitute. They have to, but just very low demand, I suppose.
Yeah, this weekend on stage, I remember I was telling people about our podcast, and I was saying in one of the earlier episodes, we talked about the fact that women can have blue balls. It's always talked about that guys have it. And I remember coming to the conclusion that, you know why you don't hear it as much? Because when a woman has blue balls, she could walk up to a random guy and be like, would you please have sex with me? And you get rid of my blue balls. Whereas a guy is alone going like, well, this sucks. And I feel like that's similar to the male prostitute. Why would you want a male prostitute if you could just walk in pretty much any bar and sleep with a dude?
Well, isn't that why famous people do it? Because they don't want the commitment?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like a woman?
They just want to sleep with someone and then be done with it. They don't want the commitment. They don't want the...
Makes sense.
Like, who was that famous lady who had all of the like presidents? I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, the famous, she was sleeping with them.
No, she was like the...
mistress?
The
madam
kind of coordinator,
a madam
person.
Lady that got yes, that I could see.
And she had a whole list of like famous people and presidents and a bunch of people in politics, like, and she never gave the list out.
That I could see, but I don't get the
But they were all famous, good looking, wealthy.
But men
still.
But I thought you were asking. I was trying to like.
I think a famous actor would have no problem hooking up with someone.
I see what you're saying.
But they don't want that reputation.
Yeah.
Right. Like, think about Hugh Grant, how he got busted with prostitutes. He's cute. He's in a ton of romance movies.
Good point.
I think a lot of people would have slept with him. I don't know his exact motives, but why would someone who's good looking, famous, successful, wealthy, and overall doing well pay to have sex when they could get it for free? Probably.
Those are great reasons now. But if we take it to women, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be an actress. You could walk into any bar and probably have sex looking almost a lot of women. I would say a lot of women could go sex.
Maybe it's the safety thing, though. You don't want to just like sleep with someone who could like kill you or hurt you afterwards.
Right.
You go to this place where they're all vetted.
That's a very good point. Very good point.
There has to be, but I would say probably more so like the male escort, right? To like take you to a family wedding, or I feel like that's a real thing.
Yeah, and in Japan that there are some bars where you can go and a girl will just be really nice to you. And I did it. No sex. No touching.
You paid a woman to be your friend?
I believe I did.
You actually paid her?
Well,
Oh, Jamie.
okay.
Is it like a vending machine? Do you get to select
Listen
that
to me.
one?
Listen to me.
And then if you pay like the low end ones, are they only like kind of nice?
Listen
they only
to me.
laugh at some of your jokes?
I've never told anybody.
You pay a ton of money. She's like, ho, 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 funniest guy alive.
I've never admitted this to anyone. I was in Japan with Rob Schneider and I was opening for him. And everyone went to sleep. And I snuck out of the base.
Uh-oh.
The army base. And I went to this
Naughty.
bar. And there were these women there. And if you bought them drinks, it didn't cost anything except for the drinks. If you bought them drinks, they would just be super nice to you.
That happens everywhere.
But this is like... I did it more honestly. I did it as an experiment at first. I went up, there was a guy, and there was like a cute Japanese girl. She starts talking to me, and I turn to him, and I go, hey, man, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Jamie. And he goes, oh, you can talk to her. And I go, that's why I'm saying hi. I just don't want you to think that I'm hitting on your... And he's like, oh, she's not with me. And he walks away. Yeah, this is interesting. And then she goes, do you want to buy me a drink? And I can't see why not. And then she was just nice to me for a couple hours, and it felt good. Felt good. She might have sat on my lap at one point. There was no touching, definitely no kissing.
You just said she sat on your lap, so that was touching.
Hand touching. But I feel like there's a real market for that. I like that. I liked it. I had just gotten divorced, and this lady was just being real nice to me.
I honestly think that's actually kind of cool.
I am not lying to you.
Did you know
it was really nice.
There's a European country, I want to say it was Amsterdam specifically, but
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was the Netherlands or not, but where they started having grocery store lines that were made just for the elderly, that they're intentionally allowing them to go as slowly as possible just to talk. And they had such success that the chain did it across the whole board. So everybody in a hurry goes in the normal lanes, and the people who are just really lonely and want to talk, they allow them to go in the slow lane.
You can only pay by paper check.
Isn't that cute?
You ever see a paper check old person?
Look at the story that I tell.
I'm trying to find
You
it.
talk about like prostitutes and hamburger meat, and I talk about grocery stores and
Do you know I live
elderly
my life
people.
regretting things? Like, right? I regret telling that story. I might even edit it out. I was trying to find. I think that's really sweet that they.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah. I try not to get.
Well, that's the human condition, right? We always want to be involved in other people. We have this innate desire to be accepted.
To be accepted.
To get along and have a human connection with other humans. Like, we are very verbose species. We need that interaction. They have a child's bench. Have you seen those?
Child's bench?
Yeah. It's called a buddy bench. And if you sit on the bench, it means you want to play with someone at schools.
Oh.
So if you're alone and you sit there, any other child who sees you can come up to you and say, I'd play with you.
That's really cute.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's really cute.
I think there's a lot of good things that we're doing. We just don't highlight them, right? We just talk about all the bullshit on Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah. Have you ever had an injury? Because I had a foot injury or a back injury that did this to me.
For masturbating also?
No.
This one was more innocent.
I stretch, Erika, before I start. Okay? Limber it up, right? I'll even take the doll and have her do some shoulder stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I'll stretch her out. I was going to say, I had an injury once.
I have so many questions about the doll.
I would never sleep with a doll unless it was a oneer.
Do you use the mouth? No, I feel like that would cut you because it's like plastic.
Jeez. Well, they fixed that.
I don't know.
The first ones did that, and they were like, people are returning these.
But you know how like the seams of like pools that you use for the summer have like that really sharp edge ridge all the way around? Aren't the blow-up dolls like that?
You know what? I did get injured once.
So if you try to take her blow-up doll hand, you're going to chafe your penis?
You know what? I did injure myself once with a blow-up doll. Her hand was where you blow it up, and it had that little thing on it. No, I've never been with a doll.
Why do you say it to me so upset?
Certainly, when I was younger, wished someone had one. Wished I had one. I lost my... What was it?
I don't know.
Prostitutes. Doll. Master. Oh! Have you ever been in a position? Elderly people, they don't want to be slow. A lot of them in their minds, they're sharp. Have you ever had an injury, because I have, where I'm the slow guy? And also, when you look like you're not old, it's even more of like this slow, lazy fuck.
What?
I had a really bad back injury, and I was that guy. So, like, I could barely walk.
Yeah.
This is for a month.
But I don't understand what the question is.
Question is what they must feel like holding up that line. Because I got it for a month. I was that guy everywhere. Come on, buddy, get out of the way. Like, I felt the hatred from everyone thinking that I was...
Sorry.
Is everything okay? Are you going to sneeze?
Yes, you can edit that out. Sorry. Okay.
I just meant, like, have you ever been in that position where you're the one that they want to hurry? And I feel bad for older people that maybe feel like they're going as fast as they can. Because I was in that position once.
I did. I injured my back, and I had to have MRIs, physical therapy, and a lot of recovery to get better. And I was on a flight, and I was trying to lift my bag overhead, and I couldn't do any. So I just asked the flight attendant. It was barely full flight, and I said, "I'm so sorry, but like I'm still in a spasm. Can you just help me lift it?" And she goes, "If you can't lift your bag over your head, you're gonna have to check it."
Oh, I don't like that person.
And I was like, "What?" I almost started crying because like
That's
it took
awful.
so much just to get on
That
the
makes me
plane.
so angry.
And this really nice passenger, he goes, "What? I'll do it for you," and lifted it. And the whole plane ride, I was thinking, "Oh man, I really hope this guy will get it down for me because I'm terrified of this
What
lady."
an asshole that
And I was
lady
only
is.
like 25. And I was like, "Is this how people are when you're injured?" I don't know.
I feel like you at 25, there'd have been some guys that would help you get that down.
Versus me now.
No. Just at any age right now.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. I was picturing 25-year-old Erika. It wasn't a comment.
The next time we're on a flight, do not try to help me. I'm going to try to put my bag up, and I'm going to go, "Oh." And then if there's nobody that helps me out, I'm going to be like, "He was right. He was lying to my face. It's only me at 25.
I think we're gonna end this soon, but I do want to tell you. Do you remember? I went somewhere recently for you. Because I was telling you, like, do you know your life? Like, people think I'm just a guy out here. No one wants to help.
It's snowing.
It's
Oh
snowing.
my
Oh, this is
God.
beautiful. Let's
No,
leave it
it's
up.
not beautiful.
Oh, you don't like it?
Do you want me to put the things down?
No, let's leave it up. We're almost done. I like it. It's
No,
beautiful.
I don't like it. Okay,
I
go
like it in
ahead.
the
What
snow.
were you going to say? Because now I'm very angry about the weather.
Okay, wait. Did I
We
just
were
get
in
totally
Las
distracted?
Vegas yesterday. This sucks.
This sucks. Okay,
Wait, what?
here's the question. It's about how people are treated based on how they look. And I want to tell you something.
Oh.
I went somewhere.
Oh, are you talking... Are you
Which
talking
one?
about Home Depot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to Home Depot and I said, I'm looking for a very specific type of faucet. And the guy looks up at me like he's not wearing an orange apron. Like he's a customer that just happened to wear an orange apron. And he goes, and I go, I'm looking for a very specific type of sink faucet. I would like it to be a touch one. I need 2 of them. I don't have a lot of clearance in the back of the sink. And he goes, yeah, I don't even know if we have any of those. Why don't you check where it says faucets? And I'm like, I want to murder this guy. I'm trying to do something nice for you. And I go, I looked at faucets, sir. I just thought because if you worked here, maybe you could point me in the direction of the very specific faucet that I need. And he could save me a little time. And he goes, they're down there. And I'm like, wow. And I look and I don't find anything. And then I leave and I call you and I say, I'm upset. This guy was a jerk to me. And I don't know how it came up, but I go, I feel like if it had been you he would have been like more helpful. And so you said, well, I'm gonna swing by
Let's
there.
test that theory.
This guy was like,
And I did.
yeah, this guy.
I went to the same location too.
Yeah.
And looked for the same faucet.
I know what happened. I'm aware of what happened. This guy was like, why don't you come to my house? I'll show you my bathtub and my faucet. You got white glove treatment. Everyone, I'll help her. No, let me help. One guy, I think he was trying to invent a touchless faucet because they didn't have one. Just they falling over themselves to help you.
Yeah. Well, so this is the part that I struggle with misogyny. If you walk into that store, it's the reverse. You're treated like crap for doing nothing wrong, but you're not a plumber. How would you know?
You mean if it's me?
Yes, because you don't even know where the equipment is located. They should not be judgmental and look at you and be like, you should know how to saw this thing in half.
Thank you.
And you should know how where this bolt is or whatever. Yeah. No, sir, you have the apron. You help me. But when I walk in there, even if I say I was a home builder, they'd be like, are you lost? The nail salon's this way, but did you want paint? Or we have candy up front.
I know.
I get offended for that, but I actually get offended more for the guys because you're not manly because you don't know where the faucets are.
Let me ask you, you have to be completely honest.
What?
I know where you stand on topics such as this. You're obviously a very smart, accomplished, beautiful woman that is not like, oh, go get candy. You go into that store. Isn't that sometimes you go, oh, this is kind of fucking nice.
Actually, what was really nice is when we were in Best Buy.
I was thinking that one. When I tried for 45 minutes.
Forever to get someone
headphones.
to open that case.
Yeah.
And you're waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know where you are. And then I look at you and I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm waiting to find someone. I go, oh, I got this.
You turn to me and you go, I'll have my breast help us find someone.
No, I didn't. You do the dumb look. I turned around, found the first guy worker, and I just said, that's it. I didn't even say anything. And he's like, oh, what can I help you with,
Yes,
ma'am?
you did.
Keys.
I was waiting for 45 minutes. This guy, all you did was turn. So would you admit that's true?
I think it's messed up.
But sometimes it is helpful.
Well, I think also you're going to use all of things that you can to your benefit, as long as they don't hurt other people. I don't think I hurt anyone by saying,
you didn't hurt anybody,
by acting
but there's an interesting
aloof and saying, oh, can you help me? I don't think that that's hurting anyone.
I appreciate your honesty because I think there's some women, though, that are like, I never benefit from that and I don't need. I get that there's was that just a noise? I think maybe one of my cameras turned off. But some women are like, no, that I never get anything from this. It's all bad. But come on, sometimes.
I think that I still wish that there was equality and equity across the board because I think the positives that I get are not outweighed by the negatives.
Great point, Dr.
I also
Erika.
want to be very clear that it does go both ways. And when I say I'm a feminist, most men here, you hate men.
Right.
No. I hate the inequality. And when you go to a store and they treat you like crap, it equally angers me because that's not fair. Find him the faucet.
It was really. Did I ever tell you? You know this about me, but I've been.
Faucet.
You know, I've been a feminist for my whole life, and that's why. That's actually why.
Watch what you say.
No,
watch
this is
the
true.
joke.
This is true. It's actually why I became a comedian, so all women for the rest of my life would make more money than me.
I guess that's funny.
Not a bad one.
I guess
self-deprecating.
That's funny. Yeah, you're also highlighting the fact that women are underpaid for the same work.
All right. Next week on Afraid to Ask,
how much do women comedians make compared to men? Is there also a pay discrepancy?
Great question.
I feel like women comedians have a very shit job because most men don't like funny women.
Yeah, this is we might have to table this discussion for next time. There's a lot here. It's very hard for me to talk about this.
But it's true, right?
It's very hard for me to talk about this because
I met your female friend who's a comedian. I think she's awesome.
She's hilarious. Kelly Collette is my opener on the road. And she's one of the funniest women in the world.
She was super funny. And
that's not why I had trouble. I have trouble talking about it because
but I just meant I finally saw. I've never seen a female comedian before dating you. But then your friend Nikki said stuff about
Nikki Glazer.
Nikki Glazer. She said stuff in one of her acts about how like men comedians clean up because like women are like
with women,
and then female comedian, she's like, it's so much harder to be a woman comedian because, man, guys, one, don't want me to be funny. They want to be funnier than me. And they want me to just shut up and do whatever. And she's pretty. Both of them are very successful. Successful in meaning that they're skilled at what they do.
Yeah.
And they're young and attractive. And that sucks to hear that.
Well, you just educated me on something.
What?
When you were explaining your thing, you were saying, yes, there are a couple little positives, but the negatives outweigh the positives. And I just realized I was about to say, because of my age and stuff and what's happening in the world, all I hear is like, we don't need another white guy. It's like the most common thing. But I'm not here to go like, I'm being discriminated against because I'm a white guy. Like, I would never say that. But then I was just thinking, like, even if that's true, that like, I've heard that so many times. Like, there's so many guys like you. What is it about you that we want a girl to do this or a person to do that? But maybe you're right that the good outweighs that the struggles that so many women have gone through.
I think you just have to be realistic and honest. Yeah. I benefit tremendously from being a female physician, by the way. I get way more clients than my male counterparts, and that wasn't the case even a decade or two ago, but I'm in very high demand. So be honest. And
I'm being honest.
No, I meant like, if I'm going to criticize the
I see
system,
what you're saying. Then you gotta
also
go,
have
I
to tell
sometimes
the,
get.
Yeah, you can't like have one blind eye when it benefits you only.
That's true. This is Afraid to Ask. We gotta go. Coming up on the next episode of Afraid to Ask.
That's why you're not supposed to sleep naked.
I think this just farted for a few seconds.
No.
Yes.
You're not supposed to sleep naked for that reason, because when you fart, you're expelling fecal matter, not just air. So that particulate usually contains a lot of bacteria. And then if you're sleeping naked, especially with a partner or just in your sheets in general, you're spraying that contaminant everywhere.
Do you know what I think we should do?
Not talk about this anymore?
On Afraid to Ask. On Afraid to Ask. On the podcast Afraid to Ask, we've always provided the podcast for free. It's been free up to this point. I'm not kidding. I feel like now is the time we start a Patreon, and for like $5 a month, you don't have to hear this one.